Trump's threat to annex Greenland has led many people to believe that NATO could soon fall apart. But the problems run much deeper than just Trump or Greenland. Let me explain. The first thing you need to understand is that NATO was founded in 1949 with the explicit purpose of countering the Soviet Union. A lot of people say NATO is about democracy. That's nonsense because, of course, fascist Portugal was actually one of the founding members of the alliance. Others say that the purpose of NATO is just to protect the member states. But that's also not the case because, of course, NATO went ahead and bombed Libya back in 2011, even though Libya didn't attack any of the member countries. And although obviously NATO has had extensive operations in Muslim countries, the main purpose of the alliance is still trying to counter Russia. We saw this when the Cold War ended, NATO expanded into Eastern Europe, and when Russia, of course, invaded Ukraine, formerly neutral countries like Sweden and Finland joined the alliance. Now, with 32 members, you might think that NATO is a very strong group of countries, but there are issues. The main problem is that whereas previously NATO members all agreed that Russia was the main threat, this is no longer the case. Let's first look at the United States. From the United States perspective, the main threat is China. Of course, China is the second most populated country in the world and soon to be the largest economy. What America is specifically worried about with China is its expansion into the Pacific Ocean, which the United States considers to be part of its backyard ever since it went ahead and annexed Hawaii back in 1898. And don't get me wrong, it's not that the United States likes Russia. It doesn't like Russia. But the thing is, the United States doesn't have the same resources it used to have to police the whole globe, back like it used to be able to do so in the 1990s. It has to pick its battles, and we see through official government policies that they want to actually pull out of Europe and focus on China instead. In Europe, though, the situation is the exact opposite. It also doesn't like China, that's part of the Western arrogance, but geographically, China is just so much further away. Meanwhile, Russia is right on Europe's border, like right there. And despite some of the economic problems Russia has, it's actually gaining ground in Ukraine. It also still has the largest stockpile of nuclear weapons. It's the fifth largest military in the world in terms of manpower, and it's the largest country in the world. So this is a very big country that gets Europe very worried. And it's because of these diverging interests that we see NATO entering a crisis. Because if the United States doesn't care about Russia anymore, then why would it continue to support the member states? And people want to blame this all on Trump. Trump is definitely an accelerant to this, but the underlying issues are there. The things that kept NATO together, the shared worry about Russia, that no longer exists, and this alliance is going to get fragile and more fragile as time goes by. Thank you.